Hey, what's up, everyone? I wanted to get on today and just wanted to address a few things. I put out a video about maybe about 5 or 6 months ago about how I paid off my debt. And during the time I was in debt, about how I was paying off my debt, but I wasn't following Dave Ramsey's plan. I just want to do this video to clear the air because somehow this video has getting a lot of views, so it's getting a lot of comments. So I wanted to just clear the air. So first of all, let me say this before I get started. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Dave Ramsey's plan. I don't have anything against his plan. Reading his book is one of the reasons why I got started paying off my debt. So I think his plan is fine. I think it's perfect. I understand why he does the plan the way he does it. It's an easy, simple plan to get started. And I actually recommend the book to anyone that wants to get started paying off their debt. I think I always tell them it's a good place to start if they want to educate themselves on becoming debt free and getting their debt paid off. So let me just clear there. I don't have any problems with the plan, but let me address why I didn't follow the plan. I'm saying I didn't follow the plan because I didn't do it to the T. And if you listen to his show, you listen to his podcast, when people go on there and they don't follow his plan exactly, then technically it's considered that you did not follow his plan. Now, I'm not saying I didn't take pieces from the plan and apply it to what I was doing. So I did have an emergency fund saved up. It was just more than $1,000. I had a little bit higher cushion because for me, I just wanted to have that in place. I did follow the steps on, paying off my debt, and I didn't invest anything while I was paying off my debt. So there was no investments going on then. I did follow the steps. I didn't quite do the snowball method. I started out with my highest one. So I did the debt avalanche is what you call it. So I just knocked out the highest loan and I knocked out the highest interest rate because I just wanted to get rid of that. And the reason I did that is because I knew that if I knocked out the biggest, the toughest thing first, then I had no excuse for not knocking out the other one. So that was kind of the reason why I did that. And the main thing that he preaches, it's changing your behavior is what he's preaching in his plan. But he keeps it simple because it's a behavior thing. It's not a math thing. And I understand that. I understand his plan. I understand why he does it. I just didn't do it. I found a plan that works for me. And I'll stick by this. I mean, I believe it's like, it's the same thing as like a workout plan or a diet plan. There's no one plan that will work for everyone. Like you can take bits and pieces from people's plans. There's a ton of people out there that are talk about finance and getting out of debt, and they all have their different views and their different ways of paying off debt. So there's various people that I took information from, including like mentors and stuff that I work with personally, to help me, put together my plan. So my thing is out there. I'm not saying my plan is the best plan that works. I just wanted to come on and I wanted to share with everyone. The reason why I did that video is because there could have been people in my situation. Like I honestly, at one point I tried to do Dave's plan and it was just really, for me, it didn't work that way. Having the wipe out my emergency fund and just like cut back on everything. Like I had to find other ways to keep me motivated. And now that I am out of debt, like I don't plan on going back into debt. Like I'm going to the next step and we want to still making a decision on whether or not we want to pay our condo off or not. We don't know if we're moving or not. So we're trying to decide within the next year, we'll know like what's going to happen, where we're going to stay where we're currently at or move elsewhere. Then we'll make that decision to get the debt paid off. But by no means doesn't mean that I'm not saving, I'm not investing. Like this year for me is a huge year for me to invest. I've already have my emergency fund saved up. I already have saving buckets for the things that I want to do this year. So I'm still on a budget. I'm still following the plan. No means by any way that I'm going to get off track. But like I just wanted to get on and address like some of the comments, which was weird because it was one that was actually sent in a day. Joseph Minching, or however you pronounce his name. Anyway, he writes this comment and says that, hey, like, you didn't follow Dave's plan. You may have paid off your debt and you may stay off stay out of debt, but I missed the point and I didn't catch the point about building wealth, and I wasn't dreaming enough. And if I keep living like I'm living, I will never achieve anything great, and I'll continue to have an employer that I work for and depend on an employer for the rest of my life because I'm not dreaming too big. And I didn't seem very motivated. So I wanted to address that first of all. So if you get this video, whoever left a comment, first of all, if you go back and watch some of my previous videos, I talk about it. 6 months into my debt-free journey, I had a side hustle that I was doing the whole time, the first part of paying off my debt, but that ended up turning into my full-time job. I ended up transitioning it, and I ended up getting clients, and I still was able to pay off my debt. And not only that, during that time, from transitioning from my full-time employer into myself, I was able to triple my income. And my employer that I've been with for almost 8 years were paying me well. I mean, they've paid me a six-figure salary, and I have been able to triple that since I've been out on my own with my business. And I have a steady flow of income that comes in each month. That's triple the amount of what I was previously making. And I don't see that stopping. So it's going to continue growing. I don't plan on stopping there. So to answer your question or address the thing about me not dreaming, man, I'm there. Like, I'm past you, like I'm ahead. And I'll address this too. Like, the difference between me and people like that, like, if I set a goal, then I'm going to go do it. I don't dream about doing things. Like, that's not who I am. Like, I'm not saying it's not cool to have visions and stuff where you go, but I don't just sit around in this dream and think something's going to happen. I find out I have a plan, put the plan in action, and takes the steps to get there. I go out and do what I want to accomplish. So I would encourage you to do the same. There was another comment on here. Someone's like, "Oh, you're traveling and you went on vacation. I left there. Don't do drugs." Man, I don't get it. I don't even know how to address that comment. But I mean, I guess it would have been a great comment back in the 1980s. I guess that would have been good. But I don't know how well that works in 2018. But I can tell you, dude, I don't do any drugs. So not really sure what you meant by that comment. So I will address, like, I did travel and I did take several vacations while I was paying off my debt. But that in no way stopped me from hitting my goal. No way stopped me from hitting my plan. And most of the vacations we had were already commitments that we made before we did the debt-free journey. And if it would have been a decision whether it was going to stop me from reaching my goal, which I set to pay off $70,000 in 12 months, then I would not have done those vacations, would not have one of those trips if I felt like it was going to jeopardize me from reaching my goal. I knew I set a goal. I knew I was going to hit it. And I knew that those small trips and stuff was not going to affect me from reaching my goals. So I just wanted to get on here and just give an update and just say, hey, like, I get the people that are really, really strong and avid, like, Dave fans. That's fine. That's totally fine. But there are ways to get out of debt. I'm not saying that's the perfect plan. And there's been a ton of, like, awesome comments with people like, "Oh yeah, I've done the same thing. I've done something similar and I've still got out of debt." There's a ton of people that are paying off their debt. It's a great community. I love the people that I talk to on YouTube because that's what it's all about. Just getting people share this because they share their experiences. They share what they're going through because there may be others that may be going through some things that are similar, not the exact same situation, but they may be going through similar things. And it's good to educate yourself, and it's motivating to see people that are in similar situations or doing things like, "Oh, I didn't really think of that." And like, that works for me. That's why we get on here and that's why we share these things. I'm not getting on here to, diss anyone's plan or talk down on anyone's plan. I'm just here sharing what I did and to pay off my debt and what I'm doing to currently build my wealth. So that's why I get on here. So I encourage you guys, if you guys watch any of the videos, anyone out there that, I've had people that have been following me for a while that are great, newcomers that are great. But if you're new and you're coming and you're just now seeing the video, I encourage you to maybe watch some more videos on the channel, educate yourself, get to know me a little bit better before you make comments from just watching a few minutes of a video, because I think a lot of the times it may address your concern or your question. and you may find something valuable. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I just wanted to get on here and just address some of those comments, since that video seems to have took off a little bit. Wanted to address some of the comments, and I felt it was the best way. Again, I try to go through and I reply to everyone's comments. I try to block out time to where I batch and do that. So if I don't get to them right away, I try to always give my opinion on everyone's comments. And if I don't agree with what you say, then I will be totally honest and give my honest opinion that I disagree. So anyway, just wanted to get on here and make this video, and like, don't a lot of things that I see with people that get on the internet, a lot of people try to get on and troll and comment on things that they are insecure about, that they're struggling with themselves to try to make themselves feel better. I guarantee probably most of the people that are commenting about Dave Ramsey's plan probably have failed at his plan. So they're getting on and they're making comments to me to try to justify them, like, oh, I tried to do his plan and it didn't work, but he didn't do it at all and he's not working. So like, don't try to use me to justify you not being able to achieve your goals and achieve your plans. Like, I'm just saying, like, there is multiple ways. There's multiple people out there that give advice, and there's not one plan that you have to do. If you want to stick to one plan and go do it, and that works for you, bravo to you. That's great. But I'm going to continue learning, educating myself, looking at different perspectives, and always have an open mind as to things that I can do to help better myself, help continue growing, help to build wealth for my future self. So I'll continue to share my experiences and my advice and things that I'm going through on this channel. And thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.